Welcome back. This is Adventures with Dr. Joe. We're going to be doing a review and a demonstration as well as building a cart for this new backhoe, this Kubota BH92. These backhoes work with my tractor and the L series, L6060, but also with the M series. They are big, they're substantial, they're very high capacity. This weighs 1,800 pounds. Substantially heavier than the BH70 series, which is about 800 pounds, over 1,000 pounds more. Plus you add this thumb and a hydraulic cylinder to it, you're over 2,000 pounds, you're over a ton. So we need to build a cart for this that's very substantial, which we're going to do today. But the first thing is we need to find some casters that can handle this weight. So to build this cart to handle this BH92, we need some heavy-duty casters because this weighs 1,800 pounds plus the weight of the thumb plus the hydraulic cylinder. We're over 2,000 pounds. That probably includes the subframes. So, you know, maybe 1,600 to 1,800, something like that on the cart. So we need some very heavy-duty casters, but we're limited in the height because let's take a look at these critical measurements. So this is the lowest point, and this needs to sit down on the dolly, and the total height is 6.5 inches. So we are limited to our height because it needs to roll freely underneath that, and this is what it needs to be sitting on. Also, the distance between the left and right side of this lowest point is 25 inches, so those are some key measurements that we need to keep in mind. So this is a 2x8, 35 inches long, and you can see it goes all the way across from both sides, and it's going to be the proper length for the first part of this cart. And then we're going to use another piece of 2x8 to rest the bucket on. To determine the best place to rest the bucket, we got to start up the tractor and lower that bucket. Kubotas always start right up. Now, bring that back. Release this. We're going to extend the bucket. Curl it to about that position. Lower it. And you can see that that rocks the whole backhoe. Brings it up and should allow us, yes, allows us to take those pins out. So the pins are right here. Look how easily they come out. That is great. So that's going to be the location for our rear pad. Now we'll take a measurement from this pad to that. And it's 73 inches. Now we'll cut our 2x4s to 73 inches. Notice I've got an outrigger at the right height. Okay, so I've got this laid out on my welding table. I've got it lined up and centered, and we're just going to put a single screw in each of these corners just to kind of keep it stable. It's upside down. The casters are going to go here. Kind of put it right in the middle. Okay, we'll see if we can drive these screws. Check their depth, perfect. Excellent. You can set your clutch at whatever indicator you want. I've got mine on 13 out of 15, so it's pretty strong. These are 3-inch diameter, 4-inch total height. They can carry 600 pounds each. We're going to take them apart, really lubricate them, and get them ready to be installed on our cart. So these are 13 millimeter. This is a nylon, one of those nylon locking washers. Okay, so there's a bushing, and what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate on both sides of the bushing, and we can do that with some high quality oil, and also we'll directly lubricate the ball bearings in this ball bearing caster. So I've got a tube of Timken roller bearing grease, very specific for this. And I've got a device that you can put stuff into ball bearings. There's a little grease fitting on the end here. We'll get it, there it is. Now we can squirt our grease through this very teeny tip. I'll put some all around that. That's really good now, all the way around. So we'll do that to all 4 of these. And also, we're going to put some bearing grease inside of the wheel. And inside of this bushing. So that when the bolt goes through the bushing, there'll be a nice amount of grease there. Enough can do the other one too. And then this will be, the bushing will be very well greased as well. So we've got that one pretty much overwhelmed here. There, bushing goes in, bolt goes in. Then we'll just clean that up a little bit and get our nut back on. Again, this is a nylon lock. A lock nut. And that's probably enough. Yeah, it's very free rolling, very well lubricated. We'll do that to all 4 of these casters. Okay, we're going to put these casters as close to the outside as we can because this is where the majority of the weight's going to be. We're going to pre-drill some holes. And then we're going to use this fantastic DeWalt driver, 1/4-inch hydraulic, incredible. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's put it on high speed. Let's go for it. There it is, unbelievable. That DeWalt tool is just amazing. Here we go. That's it. So we're going to drive home all 4 of these casters and we're going to put it onto the backhoe make some final adjustments and secure these so these are rigid. I've got this on high speed. This is a 1/8 inch. That's it goes. Here we go. That's it. Got these 16 inches apart. Boy, they're nicely lubed. Time to put it under the backhoe and get some measurements, get it exactly right. So check it out, it fits really well. So I think at this point, I'm just going to put some screws in. Oh, we've reinforced it. I think that's going to be incredibly strong. Okay, here's the first test of it. I added an extra board as well. We're going to bring the boom up, take the locking lever off, bring the bucket out, put the arm down, get it over that last board. There we go. And then lift it up, and that should release these pins, which it did. They come out easily. All right, they're out. Now, when I let this down, it should uncouple what I just did, and it should bring the whole body out. And there it is. Okay, this is my final design. I added another 2x10. Stacked them up in the back, so we got 4 for the bucket. We've got 2 here, giving us a little bit bigger landing pad. Well, I put the full weight of the backhoe on here and it broke. So this is inadequate. So I want to be certain that I'm not going to overload this cart. So I bought 4 more casters. I'm going to put them here. So this entire platform now, not just one 2x10, but basically 2x20 can support that. And then also here where the bucket goes, we're going to have 4 as well. So we're going to double this up. Okay, instead of 2x4s, we've changed to 12x8/4 hardwood beams here, and we're going to bolt these in with these large bolts. And then for each one of these casters, we pre-drill with a smaller diameter bit, and then we're going to run the lag bolts to hold each one of these in. Quite fantastic. We'll do all these. And again, once we get these big bolts in, I'm going to flip it back over and we're going to put another board, and we're going to have actually 4 of these heavy-duty casters on each end to be certain we've got basically a cart that is way overbuilt in comparison to what we need, because it's an 1,800-pound backhoe. So you can see we've got the casters in place. They freely move. There's no interference. And we've got these nice heavy-duty bolts on all 4 corners. Now we're going to add another 2x10 on each side and 2 more casters on each side. So this is my final plan. I've got 12x8/4 hardwood, 2x10 pressure treated. Each one of these rollers, each one of these casters, I've lubricated the bushing, the bolt, and the ball bearing swivel. They're meant to be rolled on concrete, so it's perfect. Each one can handle 600 pounds, so 4,800 pounds worth should be pretty good. And these are now secured with these 3/8 inch bolts, lock washers. These casters are a little bit inboard from the first ones. So if the bucket sits here, it's going to be distributed. And if the sides of the support area in the front, where the stabilizer bars are, that should basically sit here and here, we should be in good shape. Well, the proof will be in the pudding. We need to try it. Now we're going to bring it forward. Bring this forward. And I want to set it down on this flat part. up. Now we're going to put some weight on it. And when we do, this whole thing will shift up. Just watch it. There it goes. Now we'll see if the pins are free. Yes! Here's the other pin. Okay, now we need to reverse what I did, which will then tilt this whole backhoe off of the back of the tractor. So there we go. We're putting weight on the back here. You can see that. See it tilting and moving down. Oh my gosh, there it goes, moving up. We're free. Okay, now before we do this, we've got to release the hydraulics here. So let's just be sure everything's good. Doing this carefully. Okay, should be good. Now, these hydraulics always leak a little bit, so you know, you can let it leak, but first thing, disconnect this. That came off pretty dang well. A little bit of hydraulic fluid. This one. Okay, now this goes back in here. And the safest thing to do is just to plug this back here into the backhoe and then cap your caps, and we are done. Okay, if I did everything right, I should be able to just pull away. Let's see if that's the case. To demonstrate that, look at this. Wow, so I moved it all the way back here. I'm pretty pleased. This was a good build. I think it's over-engineered, over-constructed, but it's safe. I believe this is the only YouTube video on making a dolly or a cart for a BH92. It's heavy and big, but here it is. We ended up using 8 casters, 12 quarter by 8 quarter hardwoods, multiple 2x10s, lag bolts, through and through bolts. It's pretty heavy duty, and we've got 8 casters so that it's way overbuilt. It can hold up to 4,800 pounds, even though this is basically a ton, 2,000 pounds. So hey, if this was helpful, please click thumbs up, consider subscribing. Thank you.